to develop this policy. Yes. We are already a people. We are already a people of cultural superstars. It is now. Mr. Speaker, Jamaica is among the top 15 brands in the world, but let us see how we can do this and move forward. Our proposal is to overcome the fragmentation of responsibility for culture by bringing the cohesion to the state's approach. In Jamaica, culture is looked at as some ad hoc activities to make all of us feel nice. But there are various aspects of culture that are divided among the several ministries, and I really don't have to go into all of them. Suffice it to say that there are some in industry and commerce, there are some in youth culture and sport, there are some in information and telecommunications, and we really need to bring a more cohesive approach to getting them reorganized so that the Honorable Minister can do her work effectively. We have a responsibility, Mr. Speaker, for all aspects of culture under one ministry if we're to achieve this. And we'll be in a better position to see how the investment is needed for the synergies that can be best transformed within our cultural industries. The cultural policy cited the Recording Industry Association of Jamaica to say that reggae music earned a whopping $14.5 billion for the United States. But how have we benefited? We are rich in culture, but we're not organized to claim our wealth, and so others take it. We can gain so much by producing cultural products in the visual arts, music, and our identity as a people by turning it into content delivered to the world in real time, using the proper support structures and technologies. Mr. Speaker, like our music and sport and culture, Jamaica's food flavors are unique.
The Speaker's time has expired.
10 minutes. 15 minutes. 10 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I beg suspension of the standing orders and ask that you give the Speaker 15 minutes to allow her to complete her presentation.
The motion is that the Speaker's time be extended by 15 minutes. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you and the graciousness of my colleagues as well in the House. Mr. Speaker, like our music, sport, and culture, Jamaica's food flavors are unique. We're blessed with the world's best coffee, ginger, pimento, cocoa, and Scotch bonnet pepper. And bami. Scotch bonnet peppers alone, with all its sauces, could represent foreign exchange earnings greater than sugar. In 2007, we exported $100 million in sugar, while the United States imported $550 million worth of fresh pepper products, with a total consumption in excess of $1 billion US. Now, this consumption by the United States in pepper products is growing by 30% every year. 30% every year. $550 million worth of imports of pepper products. And we're exporting $100 million of sugar. I don't need to go any further. Mr. Speaker, the AMC, with its policies of guaranteeing prices to farmers, was a step in the right direction. We now need to have, or to reintroduce the concept of the AMC to farmers, but not, Mr. Speaker, but not before we build the processing plants that will turn the produce into saleable inventory. Mr. Speaker, it's not contentious, don't worry. Mr. Speaker, this saleable inventory, including value-added processed liqueurs, processed blends, and preserved, also have a cultural component. They are uniquely Jamaica. And so that in and of itself improves the price point for the commodity. young people should be allotted lands for these farms. And Mr. Speaker, these factories should be put at the disposal of young people to create their own brands that they can market on the world stage. Agriculture right now, Mr. Speaker, is our best option. It is our best option. It is their best option in the short term. And I wish to commend the 4-H Club and RADA and ask that the government allocates the resources, what little they may be, to upgrading these facilities so that we can deploy more young farmers on the ground. Mr. Speaker, every Thursday in my constituency I see about 100 to 150 people. Every Thursday in my office hours. That does not include, you don't see nobody in us, so you need to keep quiet. Mr. Speaker, that does not include Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, that doesn't include the many that I come in contact with in my constituency, some of whom are here. But Mr. Speaker, 70% of them are young people. And they're not coming to me excited about the prospects of their future. They're coming to me for books, how to pay for them, how to get a job, housing, and also how it is that they can get out of the country. Welcome back, Mr. Speaker. And we thank the member. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we've been doing things very much the same way over the past 30 years. And our youth, whether we like to believe it or not, have very little faith in the system. The irony of it is that the country will have to be looking to them to repay our debt. What I have attempted to do here today is to demonstrate possible options of how to engage our youth in the process of finding solutions and hopefully provided a vision of the tremendous opportunities that exist for our current generation. Mr. Speaker, it is our job as decision makers to prepare our youth through training and education and to create the environment for their entrepreneurial and creative talents to blossom and create wealth. Mr. Speaker, we must create the synergy between training and opportunity that an interconnected world presents. I fear that the pace at which we're going will not allow our people to catch up with the rest of the world.
That is true, that's true. We agree.
Mr. Speaker, we must give a stimulus to our young people as we have never done before. Because it is in their hands that the future of Jamaica rests. And through their hands that the nation's prosperity will be achieved. And in the words of a great leader, Mr. Speaker, forward ever, backward never. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hanna. We now have the next presentation